Hello and welcome to another Robin Day School video. So we started off with some heel. So what I want to do with him is, because sometimes we don't keep his attention very well, because he is a hound and because he has a history of kind of blowing us off sometimes, is that for a heel position, I would like to have a flat hand cue for him to follow. And what I'm doing is I'm starting out with a treat in my hand. I'll show you a little bit later in the video how I'm holding it. So he's following a treat right now, but it's not luring for the treat. It's luring with the hand with the treat so that we can fade it to a hand cue quickly. And then I checked to see how his sit and his down was in a heel position, because we usually ask for it out in front of us, so it's a big picture change for the dog. And then I did a walk around while he was in a down. So you'll see I walked around in front of him, gave him a cookie, walked around behind him, gave him another cookie for not moving. If he broke that down, I would just reset him and try again. Then we worked on some rollover. So you'll see I started with the 2 to 3 treat system, where if he rolls onto his back, he gets a treat, and then he rolls onto his other side and he gets a treat, and then he sits up and then he gets a treat. But I am trying to fade it to 2 treats or 1 treat. So 1 treat for rolling over and 1 treat for getting up. Well, not getting up, going back into it down, which is getting up out of the rollover. I'm also trying to make it so that he's not just following the food. I would like him to just follow the hand gesture, but the food is still in my hand.
Yes, good boy.
And then if he does the whole rollover with only 1 treat, so he does the whole motion, I give him that 1 treat, and then I'll give him a 2nd treat real quick afterwards.
Yes.
Because I still want him to feel like it's worth it. He takes a little convincing for things to be worth it for him.
Yeah, good.
And note how little I speak to him when we do this. Then a little bit of chin rest. So ideally, I'd like the hand out like this to be the cue for him to chin rest, maybe plus a verbal. But he did require a little bit of a motion down with a treat in my other hand, and he'll do that pretty readily. So if we need to do that, that's totally fine. We wouldn't even necessarily have to stop using that as a hand cue. It'd just be nice if the chin rest was just a hand cue with the 1 hand. But do what's comfy and let me know what works for you at home. They're both solid ways to train it. The hand cue with the food in it just makes it a little bit easier for him to succeed. But you'll see he can do it sometimes, especially if we warm up with the hand cue with the food. He can do it by just me offering that hand out underneath his chin. And sometimes I'll give him a little scratch under the chin to let him know that my hand is there. I want him to be able to see it. And also note how little I'm speaking to him here. A lot of training can just be waiting the dog out, especially if they've already learned to tune out our commands or, us trying to get their attention. So I want to make sure that everything I'm saying is worth it. You can also try this from a sit. He's just a little more comfy in a down. We did a couple tunnels. 2 out of 3 went great. He blew me off on the 2nd one.
Good boy.
For smells. He just went back there where he is right now and just started smelling. But I got his attention and I brought him back. And we did another slow tunnel.
Yes.
Here's that hand cue for the heel again. I am going to start naming it because he's doing it pretty well. At this moment in training, I am saying yes either when he turns with me or when he makes it into a proper heel, which is his front legs in line with my shoulder. Sometimes he's a little slow, sometimes he's a little fast, but I also want to make sure to reward right where I want him. And then once he stays around the same spot consistently, then we can yes and reward for duration, which I am also doing a little bit of.
Yes. Good boy. Okay.
So getting him into a heel, we can either do it that way, where he kind of spins at our side and whips into place, or we can do it a different way, which some people prefer, which is coming around behind. And I'll show you that, but this is how I've been holding the food so that we can fade away from the food in the hand
Robin. Heel. Yes.
instead of closing our fingers around it.
Heel. Yes.
So that's the kind of spin around into a heel position.
Yes.
And then this is the go around the back into a heel. I honestly don't know if Rally has a preference. I don't think so. But he can lure into either one of them just fine. And if he does do that one, I'd like him to sit when he comes up next to us. And you'll see I caught him right there before he came around front.
Yes.
I like this way because then I have eyes on the dog at all times and he's not just gonna go off behind us and do something else necessarily. But yeah, kept it pretty low key. He was a little low energy today, but that's okay. We got some good stuff done.